When I first started to learn about money and finance and how to manage my money, how to invest, I stumbled onto these channels that would advertise save into the S&P 500 until the age of 30 and then you'll get $1 million. Save on $4 coffee, passive income, and get a free stock if you click on the link down in the description. At that time, I thought this was the best thing in the world. It was the best thing of how I can actually finally have something to work towards. I can provide for my family now. I can start making money. What I didn't know was these people were lying to me. These people didn't know what they were talking about. This wasn't the best way to go and get wealth. Now, I know if you clicked on this video with the title, How to Invest for Beginners, I know you're expecting something like invest in this stock, invest in these S&P 500 funds to manage your money and retire at 30. But I urge you and tell you that this is probably not the way you want to go. I know you may be defending these people that are advertising save on $4 coffee, your favorite finance YouTuber that I literally just insulted with these 4 things. But I urge you to listen to me with an open mind. Even if you disagree with everything I've said so far and everything in this video, perhaps one point will come to you. One point will open up and bring you an epiphany and a new perspective in finance. What I'm trying to say is, if you have a closed mind and you click off this video right now, this is probably not the way to go in your life. And you probably won't end up making any big money if you're just closed-minded all the time and you don't really take any new perspective in. Because what if you're in the wrong boat towards success? What if you're in the wrong type of pursuit or passion or hustle? And so after about a year or so, I started indulging into the summer holiday crypto bull run. So if you've ever been in the crypto space before, you'll know that there was once a insane crypto bull run, metaverse, NFTs. It's gonna be new thing, Web3, Mark Zuckerberg's Meta. He rebranded everything to Meta. Every big company's making an NFT. And so in this phase of my life of just indulging in crypto and NFTs, I indulged in a new influencer that advertised these 10 crypto coins will 10x by the end of February. And obviously me with my traumatized, for whatever reason in my childhood, traumatized until I had the scarcity mindset. If you don't know what the scarcity mindset is, it's literally named, scarcity. There's no money. Oh, I need this. I need to save on that. I had that type of mindset alongside my trauma. And so these videos perfectly preyed into that type of persona. Fast forward 2 years or more. I've literally exited the crypto bull run after everything came down. Now it's a bear market. No one cares about NFTs anymore. And I exit the market with negatives. I exit the market after spending hundreds of pounds that I got from family members, from literally my mom's friends giving me red packets of money from Chinese New Year's, and I saved all of that up to put it in some shitcoin NFT that would do some slow rugs to me. If you don't know what slow rugs is, it's literally just these big companies of NFT and crypto coins telling you that they'll give you money, they're working on this great project. But after receiving millions in funding, they say that they've ran out of funding to fund this shitty website with this shitty game that you can apparently earn crypto on. And so they say, we've run out of funding, we're going to have to close this project down now. And that's how they earn millions off of these young children that want money, but don't want to work at it the hard and long-term way, which is probably the only way to insane amounts of wealth. So fast forward 2 or more years, I'm sitting there scrolling through Twitter after finishing a deep work block of 4 hours. I'm checking all of my social medias for like 5 minutes and then I'm gonna go have my lunch. And so I'm scrolling through Twitter and I discover this tweet that said, imagine investing in another company before your own. Now, at this time, I already had changed my mindset about these retire at 30, save on $4 coffee. This old finance advice that doesn't really work and sort of preys on the person who is traumatized and wants money and is literally at rock bottom. And that's when I really realized. That's like the 5-second realization moment that hit me. And I should probably make a video on this topic. Now, the first big point, the big misconception. The first point under the big first point is, perhaps this is your first taste of hope. So I briefly mentioned this beforehand, but I do want you to have an open mind and hopefully you'll learn like one valuable thing from this video if you disagree with everything else. And so the second point in this big topic of the big misconception is the literal 4 horsemen of poverty. And so what I mean here is retire at 30, save on coffee, passive income, free stocks. So I've briefly mentioned this in the story beforehand, but I'll go in depth here. So if you think about it, the first horseman of poverty is literally retire at 30. So this may be literally preying on the 20-year-old. Just imagine this, right? The 20-year-old that just got out of university, he's got a bunch of debt and he's working a 9-to-5 job after literally having 2 years of university partying. This 20-year-old's literally doing anything for money. He's working his 9-to-5 job and hopefully landing jobs that would accept his degree in university. And so these people are literally creating videos, retire at 30. Does that not kind of resonate with the 20-year-old that wants to retire early? Because right now he's working to pay off his debt. And so the second horseman is save on $4 coffee. This is preying on the old mindset that literally parents would give to their children. Save on these big purchases. Don't buy expensive stuff. Save so that you can buy other things. And so why is this bad? Well, I'll give you an example. Suppose you were to go to a supermarket and you were to choose between these 2 products. One was a little bit cheaper, but you have this mindset, this old mindset of, I'm going to save money. A little bit cheaper, but the quality is terrible. There's no organic, there's no regulation, there's no third-party testing. And it's literally like £2 cheaper. Whereas there's this better product that has everything that will literally add to your health. Whereas this one maybe has some bad things mixed in, some bad additives, some literal ingredients that would be named E220. Tell me, where would you get E220 in a forest? And so, of course, you saving that £2 to hopefully buy a BMW by the age of 30, and you saving that £2 just to have that E220 in your system, to save into your monthly £50 quota of the S&P 500, just to spoil your health in the present, and not buy the £2 extra thing that will actually add to your health, clear brain fog, make you more productive, allow you to tap into a flow state of hyperproductive work. Do you not think that is kind of stupid? Now, I know if you're at borderline poverty and you have to save, you literally have to save to keep your family's head above water, then of course you're justified. If you're just a little bit above the line of poverty, let's say you're making an average income, then there is literally no point in saving. If you save into your if you save £50 for your monthly quota of S&P 500, bro, if you just invest that into yourself, invest in knowledge, in a high ROI investment. Literally, a guy called Hormozi says this, right? The highest ROI investment is probably investing in yourself, investing in your skills. Because if you do that, you have a higher plane of existence, a higher plane of judgment on which things are better, which will literally increase your life quality. Invest in knowledgeable books, invest in knowledgeable courses from knowledgeable people, invest in health products like an air purifier if you're literally in a dog water room. Things like these health, of course, there's like controversial topics like the Oura Ring, the Whoop Band. Are they really necessary? Of course not. I think it would do you good as a baseline to invest in knowledge, invest in physical books, And if you've been watching people like Andrew Tate, if you have this self-limiting doubt of, oh, I can't read books aren't good for you, they're too slow, it's just motivation, I have a full video explaining why that isn't the case. I'll link it down below. But I genuinely think you should actually go and buy real, organic, good food for yourself instead of saving just to get a million at 30, literally saving that $4 and having a inconvenient life, sacrificing your present moment for the future in a bad way. Now, of course, us on self-improvement, we talk about delaying gratification, sacrificing your like instant pleasure of watching porn or doing some bad habits. This is the better version of delaying gratification. So as in literally invest in organic stuff and don't spoil your health in present. Don't spoil your happiness. If there's a coffee that you and your spouse or your girlfriend or your mom or your friend wants, and you're just going into a coffee shop that you particularly want to spend on that, it's like an extra £2 for your happiness. If you have some like actual self-dignity, self-respect for yourself, then an extra £2, bro, you're going to spend that on some shitty purpose. If you're saving up for some like BMW or for some watch or for some literal Nike trainers, that, bro, you're gonna spend that on dog water trainers that literally cost like £300, but to make them it's like £10. So the moral of the story here is to choose to have a healthy baseline, have some self-respect for yourself, to spend that extra £2 on buying higher quality ingredients to cook with, higher quality food to eat. Stop like buying the £2 literal Big Mac and like start buying healthy food. Start investing in knowledge that will actually bring yourself to a higher plane of knowledge and existence so that you can earn even more with your higher skills now and provide an even bigger ROI. And the third point is passive income. Now I can make a giant video on passive income, but I'll just summarize it here in a small point. So what I mean by passive income is bad is, if you've been in this space for a long time, you may not get this point if I just tell you it straight out right now, but I'll try and soften it and make you understand it more. So passive income is worse than active income. No. Now you may have this idea of, oh, I'm going to work 4 hours per week. I'm literally going to just go and check on my passive income, and if there's anything wrong, then anything wrong. But I'm gonna go lie on the beaches of Bali, and then my tenants are just gonna handle themselves, and I'm gonna get like that monthly revenue that's gonna pay for my vacations. There is so much for me to express here that I can't really just give you a sentence for you to realize. But why is active income better than passive income? Well, if you look at people like Elon Musk, Hamza, Jeff Bezos, they all have this sort of workaholic type of persona, don't they? They kind of just, if you heard stories about Elon Musk before, sleeping 5 hours on his literal like office floor and then like working up to work again because he just loves his work so much. Why does he love his work? Because it is fulfilling. It is so purposeful, and I believe if you've never felt this before, if you're still doing like some low business, some like small business that doesn't really fulfill you, so as in some like markers for if this fulfills you is if you're still doing some bad habits on the side. So if you're still literally typing P in the browser, if you're still watching anime, that is probably a sign that your business isn't fulfilling you 100%. Because if, and I felt this personally, this is from my personal experience by the way, I made the final switch from dropshipping to making a self-improvement channel. This is somewhat more fulfilling than a dropshipping business. And so from making that big switch, I've noticed two things. I have no bad habits anymore, as in I used to literally watch anime at the end of the day after completing my uploading AliExpress products and making my copywriting page on literally selling dog water items from China. But I would still watch anime at the end of the day. However, with this self-improvement channel, I would much rather just do some low-level task at the end of the day. Maybe it's editing my video, maybe it's just some low activity that literally is more fun if you think about it in a logical way. this literally marks that this editing my videos, like recording, doing anything related to self-improvement video is more fun than watching anime, typing P in your browser, or watching Netflix. If you just think about it in that way, you'll understand that passive income is sort of an escapist way of a false ideal, I guess you could say. It's a fallacy. In an ideal scenario, with, once again, my humble opinion, I believe you should have a active source of income. You should keep on working, have literal 10-hour work days of you working on your project that you actually love, working towards a mission and having money on the side that fuels that mission. So you're not working towards the money, but you're working towards a goal in mind. You're working towards a mission. If you think about Elon again, bro's literally working towards Mars and he's making money on the side. And so that's like a sort of higher level of thinking when it comes to money. And perhaps level one is, I want money, so I'm gonna make a drop shipping business that provides me like a few hundred per week or so. And so with this active pursuit, active income source of you literally working 10 hours per day, you literally love it because you've discovered your purposeful source of work that you literally love, instead of going on vacation to have a half-assed sort of good time, because you're not really 100% happy, are you? You're maybe like 70% happy when you're on vacation. I know this is probably hard to grasp for you if you've never experienced being in a purposeful business before. If you haven't experienced your purpose being filled before, whether that's cooking, whether that's literally just speaking on camera, whether that's literally writing, like copywriting, or writing books, or literally just painting, whichever thing feels good for you, whichever thing, like if you just do perhaps 4 hours of it, you literally feel so productive afterwards. You feel like you respect yourself way more, you love yourself way more. If you feel that, then that is probably your purposeful business. And so I know this part is like, this specific part about passive income is a little bit unstructured, but I want to talk about the ideal scenario again. So once again, active income, you have a fulfilling purpose instead of literally just making money on the side in a way you literally hate and you're not fulfilled with. And then you're literally going out to these instant gratification type of areas of literally barley, like drinking cocktail. That's like a sort of bad pleasure. It's like cheap dopamine, if you get what I mean. But the fourth horseman is the free stock. Now, this is straight up logical if you just think about it. It is a free stock that preys on every single motherfucker that loves money and that needs money, the scarcity mindset. Get your free stock down below so that you can get free money. This is like a literal scam. And so the third point under the category of the big misconception is 99% of day traders lose money. So if you're looking into day trading and you're thinking that's a good sustainable path for you to make like small money, actually, before I go on this point, I want to mention a phrase that I should have mentioned beforehand in the passive income section, which is long business to make long money, short and small business to make short and small money. So what this means is, probably if you have a grand mission, as in making Amazon, making SpaceX, Tesla, getting to Mars, you have long money in the process. You literally make long money by the side because it's like a long wealth game. Whereas if you're doing something like dropshipping or affiliate marketing or some little business that requires physical products in real life, maybe you're going around your neighbor's house asking if you are asking to provide some service, that will generally speaking make small money in the small run. Another point to add to this phrase of long money, long business is, with these businesses of dropshipping, these smaller businesses, it's generally speaking, you make the first dollar faster. And even with a 9 to 5 job, you make the first dollar faster. Whereas with the long money, long game, the long business, you'll make the first million faster. Because you sort of have to understand that with these long businesses, this is another phrase from Gary Vee, a popular phrase which is jab, 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 right hook. And so what this means is you should give away like loads of value for a long time without expecting much money back, and then you hit them with the right hook, which is the money shot, the million, the literal statistic that is above the charts. And it's literally, if you look up on Google like Amazon success chart, or even better, you look up the entrepreneur success graph, it's literally, it compares it to the employee, right? So it's the graph like this, it's like this, like this, like this. So these incremental raises are literally your boss giving you raises. This is the employee, by the way, it's literally. And then the entrepreneur, it's literally wham, like that. So it's a long time of you basically earning like a so small amount of money, or just zero, literally zero. And you can see this in big people like Jeff Bezos, literally struggling over years and years of literally almost losing the company, literally in debt in his work, in his hardest working days for a long period of time. And then comes the success, the big right hook. And so back to the point of 99% of day traders lose money is literally, if you just think about it, that is it's just such a big statistic. Like even Warren Buffett, the oracle of investing, literally he says it himself, 95 or 99% of day traders lose money, and only 1.1%, so that 1.1% out of the 99% earned more than the Brazilian minimum wage, and only 0.5% earn like a good amount. That is like a statistic I pulled from some random article. And so if you want some good investing advice that you came into this video for, good investing advice from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, so two big investors, big investors, is the big and good advice that they give you. The main advice is literally just don't lose money. Invest enough so that if you lose, you don't lose a significant amount. Literally, their whole game is to just not lose money. That's their whole point. It's such a basic advice. It sounds so boring, rather than invest in this shitcoin now at times 100 by the end of February. It sounds so much more boring, but in the long run, you literally look at their wealth, whereas you're here with your shitcoins that literally went to zero, and like the whole entire shitcoin company is literally abandoned you, and they never showed their face in the first place, and I don't care about you anymore. They've run away with their millions. And whereas the guy who's literally been like Warren Buffett, investing with literally their wealth that they made from their business, instead of literally saving £50 per month into the S&P 500, literally building wealth from their long business that we've covered beforehand, their purposeful, fulfilling business, making loads of millions, and then putting that into investments like the S&P 500 and focusing on not losing that money. And that's how you gain wealth, instead of hoping to get rich with like a 0.00001% chance of a shitcoin mooning to times 100. And so the fourth point under the big category of the misconception is this is sort of like capitalizing on what I said beforehand about the S&P 500, but I believe this is another statistic or fact I pulled from an article. So it says here the average yearly return of the S&P 500 over the last 30 years is 10.7%, but even at a conservative return of 8%, you would have over $146,000 if you invest $100 a month for 30 years. So that is terrible. That is completely terrible. If you invest, the main point here is if you invest $100 a month for 30 years, you'll only get $146,000. If you think about this in a clever way, if you think about like the young entrepreneurs, the top 1% of men, young ambitious men like Iman Gaji, Hamza, all of these people, they reached a big amount of success by investing in themselves. So a good example of this is Hamza. He reached literal like 100K per month in 3 years or so, 2.5 years of investing in himself, investing in knowledgeable books. Literally, if you just click on one of his videos of like book recommendations, you'll see how many books he's literally bought and read. That is a good example of investing, true investing in yourself, which is probably the highest ROI investment you can actually have, which again will bring you to a higher plane of existence, which will bring a higher plane of judgment, which will make you even more money, which is a compound, like upward spiral, if you get what I mean, like the rich get richer type of scenario. And so if you just think about it, 2 years of investing in yourself, investing in healthy food, investing in health products, investing in knowledge, investing in a literal coach that has knowledge that you actually respect, that you want to learn from, that is probably in your niche, then in 2.5 years, you literally make more than a guy who's putting $100 a month for 30 years, making $146,000. And so the last point under this category of the big misconception is the Hormozi quote. So this I will again briefly mention, but I couldn't like say the exact quote in detail. So his quote is, "If everyone saw learning skills as a real investment, more would do it. 1, they go up in value. 2, no one can take them from you. 3, they can't be taxed. 4, they compound all other investments," as in the upward spiral, as in you'll have a higher plane of judgment and then you'll make more money, rich get richer. That is what he means, I think. And then the 5th point is great price versus lifelong returns. It will literally stick with you for life. And then he says, double down on the one asset you hold forever, you. So that's basically him telling you to invest in your skills, your high income skills, in yourself basically. And so the second big topic is what to actually invest in. So I honestly should have planned this video in like a better way, but this is basically what you should invest in a clear-cut category, instead of me telling you stories and then giving you one thing to invest in, etc. One is yourself. Second, like in a subcategory under yourself, so this is yourself, right? And then in a subcategory under it, it is book, courses, knowledge. And I've listed 2 self-limiting doubts here, which is books are a waste of time, and then the second limiting doubt is courses are a scam. So I've covered why books aren't a waste of time, and if you want to learn more about that, there's once again a link in the description. The second limiting doubt is courses are a scam. I understand why you'd think this way. It's totally fine to think this way. I used to think this way because literally courses have been given a bad rap from the beginning, from these literal scammers. Look at my Lamborghini in the background. You can buy my course so I can teach you how to get this Lamborghini. These courses have been getting a bad rap from the beginning. They literally turn off the 99% of people who are sort of considering buying a course, but the 1% probably go in depth and look at the real courses that have real good information that the guy who created the course poured his life out into. Everything in his head, his 100K knowledgeable brain, everything into that course. If you think about it, the basic logic of exchange, you believe that your money is worth the knowledge in that course. And I believe another thing that causes people not to buy courses, it's because it's immeasurable. There's no progress bar there's no like real statistic on the value you got out of that course, unless it's absolutely life-changing and it gives you multiple epiphanies and it makes you make like 100K more in your business. There's generally speaking no number you can put towards how much value you got towards the course. And so that's probably another reason why. And so if you just think about it, you're exchanging money for valuable knowledge from some smart guy. So what is there really to like hate about it? I understand why you hate it, but it's just from an outside perspective that you hate it. If you really think into the deep core of, I'm giving you money, you're giving me insane knowledge that will help me make more money. And from the outside, if you just look at it from the outside, it probably looks like, buy this now, you get this 30% off, and it's an insane high price. And then that's probably what turns 99% of people off. And so another thing under the like small category of yourself, invest in yourself, is skills, outsourcing. And so what I mean by this is learning high income skills. Once again, courses getting books and like adding to your skills, but outsourcing and delegating. So what this means is, let's say you've been in your business for a long time and you started making a little bit of money after jabbing for a long time, jab, and then you started your right hook. And so this is where you delegate your like lower responsibility tasks. So let's say you're a YouTuber, your highest contribution task, your most leverageable, your best task to do is probably record, right? And so you delegate the little tasks like editing, scripting your video. Actually, maybe not scripting your videos, but probably tightening your videos, making your thumbnails, editing. You delegate all of those small tasks to someone else who has like the specific skill for it. The guy who can literally make insane thumbnails with graphic design. The copywriter, for example, that can copyright your description and your video title. You delegate those tasks to people who are better than you at them and focus on the one task that you are insanely good at. And that will literally make you a rich person gets richer type of person. And the third thing under the small point of yourself is healthy, fast, organic food supplements. And so this is basically improving your life quality and adding to your work again. If you think about healthy organic food, zero brain fog, zero terrible digestion, better physique, better respect from other people, overall better ROI. Now the third main topic is when to actually invest in stocks, crypto. Now when to invest. This is probably, once again, for fuck's sake, I keep on briefly mentioning everything. It's because I think I'm just letting my subconscious like rant. That's why I'm not structuring this in the best way. But the when to actually invest in stocks, cryptos, and like big real estate and stable funds is when you've built immense wealth. Now, this, I don't have an exact statistic or fact for you here, but generally speaking, if you are already rich, you already have millions and millions and millions. Think about it. You literally get rich by being rich in the first place, putting it into investments. I'll give you an example. Look, I don't have the exact like fact or statistic for it, but imagine you are this guy who's worked years and years to build your wealth. You've got millions now, and you put it in a 10% yield per year into this like fund or whatever, this S&P 500 fund. Whereas if you're this guy who's saving £50 per month into this S&P 500, that is completely stupid. Why would you do that? If you just look at it from this perspective, this is how the rich get richer. By making loads of money in the first place and making that 10% significantly amazing. If you just compare £50 per month, whereas a million straight up in the 10%, you'll get so much more compound interest. How you get rich is basically just build wealth in the beginning and then invest in other companies. That is basically the way I believe is the best. And so the fourth and final point is some actionable steps. So I believe the best actionable step I've listed down here is probably a quick book review list. So I've listed down a bunch of books that you can go ahead and read that will provide so much of an ROI to you. This is, if you read every single one of these books, you literally get the brain of smart people like Naval Ravikant, Alex Hormozi, Hamza himself. You literally understand what they're talking about. Like from reading all of these books, I understand where their advice comes from now. I understand why they say this. I understand literally everything. And sometimes these influencers that you watch miss something from the book that it's actually really valuable, that when you piece together what these influencers are saying and the books that they're literally repeating to you in these videos, if you piece them together, you'll get the full picture, the full story about it. And then you get better understanding and you'll probably be more knowledgeable yourself. And so the first book under this category of quick book review list is Psycho-Cybernetics. This is a book of mindset and like how you're programmed from a young age of false beliefs. So if your teacher tells you you're a dumb child and you're average, like you get average on every single test, you carry that throughout your entire life. Whereas you're not actually like that. You're just kind of in a placebo effect for the rest of your life. And so this book tells you how to unfuck your entire life, how to expel all of the false beliefs through visualizations, and like give yourself better mental health and a better self-image of yourself for you to conquer more goals and have more belief and self-respect in yourself, basically. Number 2 in this list is The Way of the Superior Man. So this, honestly, when I first read this book, it's literally the most horny book I've ever fucking read. It's such a... At the first time of reading, I didn't understand much. There was so much that I didn't understand, so I kind of resorted to literally only understanding the kind of erotic parts. Because this book's like, if you read it for the first time, you won't understand it much. But give it like maybe 2 or 3 months if you're on self-improvement for yourself to grow, and then you revisit this book and perhaps watch some people that talk about the way of the superior man, watch like Hamza or something, and then he'll bring into more perspective of what the points mean alongside yourself with your own growth and like finding the meaning behind this book. Because me, after literally like reading it for the first time, allowing myself 2 months of growth and not reading this book, allowing myself 2 months of growth, I've literally revisited the book and all of the points make sense now. Almost all of the points, except for the ones in like sexual relationships. And so this book will give you a general guide on how to live life. How to live life as a man, basically. How to live a true life, true to your core. And this is the book that literally tells you about purpose and how it works for you to bring ultimate happiness and fulfillment into your life. Now, the third book under this category is .com Secrets. Now, this is a large book of basically every single marketing thing. This is honestly such a must-have if you are doing any social media business. After reading half of this book, so I'm halfway through it, I understand everything Iman Gaji, Hamza, Andrew Tate is doing. Literally, all their email lists, sign up to my email list and I'll give you free advice. I understand what they are doing now. That is an entire sales trick, and bro, just everything they do now that seemed to be wholesome at the beginning, seemed to be just them trying to help you and them giving you free value. It's actually marketing now. I understand what they're doing now from every like funnel, every tactic in the book. I've read and I've understand it, and now I know I can destructure and like break down what they're doing in their funnels. Give me your email so I can give you this free ebook. I understand everything that they're doing now. Like, you know, Iman Gaji's remote revolution, like digital renaissance, all of these events is talked about in .com Secrets. All of these events hosting big challenges for people that like ultimately get loads of more people into your funnel and then hopefully into buying your product. For Tate, it's literally Hustlers University from his email list. I will give you free advice if you just sign up to my email list. Like the host on the interview when he's interviewing Andrew Tate, what is one money advice that you can give to yourself when you were 17 years old? And Andrew Tate says, sign up to my email list. And then like if you sign up to his email list, you'll know that 70% of the time is just him like, join Hustlers University now in 3 hours, otherwise you'll miss something. And then like 30% of the time it's just him literally just talking about some random story of him being a monk that lived to 800 years old. And so the fourth book under this quick books review list is the Holy Bible. I honestly don't know why I have this on this list, but it's given me a good storybook to read at night. And I'm Christian now, by the way. So at the end of every night, I read a page, and honestly, that takes away all of my like work in the brain so that I can actually fall asleep. It's a good storybook now that I think of it, because in the beginning, especially in the beginning as well, it's very, very entertaining when God took 7 days to create the earth, made Adam and Eve, and then like Adam and Eve's children had a fight, and so basically I treat that as a storybook. And so the fifth book under the category of quick books review is Eat That Frog. This is a quick productivity book that is sort of for beginners, to be honest. If you've been on self-improvement for like 2 years or so, you probably won't need this book, but It's a good book if you're just starting out and you feel like you're doing some shallow tasks all the time. You're busy all the time, but you don't feel like you've done any work. You've worked a 10-hour day, but you don't feel like you've done work. You don't feel like you've accomplished anything. So if that's the case, buy this book. It's a small book with 21 productivity hacks. It's pretty interesting. I bought this recently and I only really got 2 things out of it because I've been on 2 years of insane self-improvement, nightmare mode. And the last and final book is how to win friends and influence people. So this book is basically the Bible for social interactions. I used to be this social reject type of kid that would hang outside of his group, that didn't really have a tribe, would be known as this sort of quiet guy but really intelligent at school. So this typical Asian kid. And so that really led me down to bad rabbit holes of bad mental health, me literally acting Sigma and a bunch of bullshit that wasn't necessary for my teenager self. And so after reading this book, I've improved my social interactions, which have led to my mental health being better. And literally all of the bad mental health, oh, that guy hates me, oh, he's given me a serious face, he doesn't like me, he clearly hates me. If you literally just read this book and find out why they literally hate you, it's because you hate them. You have this face, you don't smile when you greet people, you don't say their names. And this book's honestly changed it for me. It's honestly been such an addition to my good mental health and literally made me win friends and influence people. So if you're in a stage of, oh, I'm Sigma, I'm a social reject, I don't talk to anyone, my social skills aren't that good, I hate small talk, I only have deep talk. If you're in that stage, then this book is for you. And I believe that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and you can join my Discord down below. We can talk about anything we want. And in a bit, bro.